You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Emerson Whitner, and this is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, July 29th, 2015. Thank you for listening. On to the show. Not a whole lot of preamble here tonight, so we'll jump right in. We start the show with an upset. Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson defeated Enzo, Amore, and Colin Cassidy. We kick things right off in the middle of the ring. And Corey Graves and Byron Saxton are getting really annoying as they take turns going back and forth on who's the heel commentator in literally every match. So this match was Corey getting to be the heel, talking about how he hopes Enzo and Cass end up bankrupt and end up in the poorhouse. Go figure. You never believe this, but they got the heat on Enzo, and Colin made the hot tag, making the comeback. The match itself was fine. Dawson used Tully Blanchard's old slingshot suplex, and then something shocking happened on the way to the final bell. Colin got posted, outside the ring, and Dash and Dawson actually won the match. Their finish saw Dawson throw Enzo up into the air, and as he was coming down, Dash gave him the code breaker. And despite never, ever, ever, ever using this move before, the announcers already had a name for it, the Shatter Machine. I should warn you ahead of time if you hear some background noise. I've got a giant dog sitting 10 feet away from me that unfortunately it's a necessary evil with my current environment. So if you hear anything, I apologize. Try to ignore it. The crowd was just as shocked by the opening match as I was. We had an interview with Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. I don't know if they're supposed to be heels or baby faces. Every interview they do, I'm assuming they're supposed to be heels, and then they wrestle as baby faces. Chad actually ran down every babyface team on the roster before saying that they are ready, willing, and Gable. Baron Corbin pinned Paragon Pro Wrestling champion and former TNA superstar Jesse Sorensen. Jesse's best remembered as the man who once broke his neck on a live TNA pay-per-view. Dixie allegedly promised him a job for life and then fired him a year later. Now you can watch Jesse every Saturday morning at 6 a.m. on Paragon Pro Wrestling on Pop, where he's the PPW champion, at least until tonight when Baron became the linear champion, pinning Jesse in 20 seconds with the end of days. Tyler Breeze barged into Mr. Regal's office and demanded a match for NXT TakeOver or Good Day to Takeover. Mr. Regal told him to be careful what he wishes for. Now, I could swear it says on WWE.com somewhere who his opponent is, but I can't find it right now, so I don't feel like spoiling it and then getting yelled at for spoiling it. And that leads us to our next match with Jason Jordan and Chad Gable defeating Elias Sampson and Levis Valenzuela Jr. I have no idea who Levis Valenzuela Sr. is, but apparently he's more important than Rey Mysterio, Chavo Guerrero, and the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, because Levis got to keep the Jr., while those three all had to drop it. Chad schooled Elias because Elias demanded to wrestle him first. Levis and Elias got the heat by cheating behind the referee's back. Jordan got the hot tag and went nuts on Levis. And Gable and Jordan won with the move now called Grand Amplitude, which is when Jordan tosses the guy up in the air, and on the way down, Chad hits him with a neck breaker. Dana Brooke did an interview with Devin Taylor saying that Charlotte's been running scared, but tonight she's going to prove that she can beat Charlotte and is going to serve Charlotte an eviction notice and send her off to Raw. We got a video package for Bull Dempsey. I don't know what to say about this man anymore. The video package, if you remember the angle with Bull, is that he's fat, he's out of shape, he can't run out of the ring without gassing. Between matches, he's constantly eating junk food. I wonder week after week whose Cheerios he pissed in. This segued into him training, where he was unable to lift a weight bar with no weights on it, or even to climb a set of steps. And it appeared his new gimmick is going to be a personal trainer. They have Dana Brooke on the roster, Charlotte on the roster, and like 50 people, all who actually look like fitness models or fitness experts, and they're going to use that storyline for Bull Dempsey. What the hell is going on? Speaking of Dana and Charlotte, Charlotte pinned Dana Brooke in like 3 minutes. This match was set up because Bayley wanted to wrestle Charlotte to prove that Bayley was good enough to face Sasha for the women's title. You did not hear me wrong. Bayley wanted to wrestle Charlotte as a tune-up to wrestle Sasha, and that led to Charlotte facing Dana. So I'm assuming now Charlotte's going to face Bayley next week. This match, I expect this match to be like 10, 12 minutes long. The match, I don't even think it went 4 minutes. Dana got a little bit of offense. Charlotte made a quick comeback, hitting a spear and then natural selection for the win. She hasn't used that in a while. She's been using the figure 8, so, it's good to see her break it out once in a while. Samoa Joe wants to be NXT champion, but so does everybody else, and he plans to go through Rhino next week on his road to the title. We finally, 30-plus minutes into the show, get a follow-up on last week when Kevin Owens punched William Regal. After the show, Kevin apologized to William, said he didn't mean for it to happen. William took his word for it, but he had that look on his face like he thought Kevin was full of it. Eva Marie was happy about winning last week. I was hoping this was leading to the announcement of her retirement. Sadly, it wasn't. She said she wants to be women's champion, telling Sasha to look out. Oh, great. I can't wait for a few months from now when the NXT Women's Division is Dana Brooke and Eva Marie and Bayley, who, as much as I love Bayley, she's definitely the next tier of people underneath Charlotte, Sasha, etc., as far as being a worker. Kevin Owens pinned Martin Stone. 3 weeks from this Saturday, Kevin Owens gets his rematch at NXT TakeOver Live Free or TakeOver as he faces Finn Balor for the NXT title. They did announce that Owens was fined an undisclosed amount for punching Mr. Regal last week. The whole point of this match was to give Owens an easy win on the way to TakeOver, where he got the win with a pop-up powerbomb. After the match, Owens did give Stone the powerbomb on the ring apron before mocking the Finn Balor entrance. And then the main event. Blake and Murphy with Alexa Bliss successfully defended their NXT tag titles against the Vaudevillains. Blake, who's recently bleached his hair so he no longer looks like Murphy, broke out a Freebird strut early on, so at least he knows the right people to kiss up to. Byron Saxon at one point tried to claim that they only won the tag team titles because Alexa interfered, and thankfully someone else is paying attention because Corey jumped down on him, pointing out that, Blake and Murphy won the titles well before Alexa joined them, which Alexa joined them in May. The champs got the heat on Aiden. I was actually curious as to who they would beat down since the Vaudevillains just turned face a few weeks ago, and neither had been established as the fiery babyface comeback guy. Gotch actually did do a pretty good comeback, leading to an "Oh my Gotch" chant, when he single-handedly beat up both men. The finish saw them go for the whirling dervish on Blake, but Alexa grabbed Aiden's ankle, Murphy took out Gotch, and Blake rolled up Aiden for the win. After the match, the victimized Vaudevillains beat up the champs and sent them packing. Alexa looked about to slap Aiden, but they stared her down instead. They were going to show chivalry and let her leave, but Alexa slapped them both anyway. Now, if this was ECW, TNA, or WWE like even 5 years ago, I would have written and later said, and then they laid out Alexa. But instead, they stood there and just let her leave. I'm not justifying man and woman violence, just that it was weird for them to be slapped so hard by her and then just stand there and let her walk away. So that's it for this week. We are on the road to NXT TakeOver with a Vengeance. What happens next week when Joe faces Rhino? Don't know, but I want to thank you all for listening. Hope you listen to again next week. And check out the Wrestling Outsiders podcast, blogtalkradio.com/Wrestling Outsiders. We reviewed Halloween Havoc 98 with Hogan versus Warrior 2. Check it out now. Please and thank you. So long. Bye.
You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.